Welcome to our countdown of the top 20 natural disasters in the world. Throughout history, our planet has displayed its raw power through a multitude of devastating events. From the depths of the oceans to the peaks of fiery volcanoes, these natural disasters have reshaped landscapes and left an indelible mark on human history. From devastating earthquakes to catastrophic hurricanes, we'll explore the most impactful natural events in history. Each disaster, a stark reminder of the forces that shape our world and the resilience of life in the face of adversity. Join me as we journey across the globe, revisiting these moments of destruction and uncovering the stories of survival that emerged from the ruins. The day after Christmas 2004, a magnitude 9.1 earthquake tore through the Indian Ocean floor off the coast of Sumatra. The tremors, felt as far away as Alaska, unleashed a series of monstrous waves, reaching heights of over 100 feet. These walls of water crashed into the coastlines of 14 countries, leaving a path of devastation in their wake. Coastal communities were swallowed whole, homes reduced to rubble, and entire families vanished beneath the surge. The tsunami's reach extended far inland, stripping vegetation, scattering debris and leaving behind a landscape scarred by salt water and sorrow. The official death toll exceeded 230,000, with countless others left injured, homeless, and grappling with unimaginable loss. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami stands as a chilling reminder of the destructive power of nature. But from the depths of this tragedy, stories of human resilience and compassion emerged as nations united to provide aid and rebuild shattered lives. On January 12, 2010, the earth beneath Haiti convulsed with a magnitude 7.0 earthquake. The epicenter, a mere 16 miles from the capital city of Port-au-Prince, amplified the quake's devastating impact on the densely populated region. Buildings crumbled, roads buckled, and the air filled with the cries of trapped and injured survivors. The presidential palace, a symbol of national pride, lay in ruins, a stark representation of the widespread devastation. Estimates suggest over 220,000 people lost their lives and more than 1 million were left homeless. The earthquake exposed the fragility of Haiti's infrastructure and the immense challenges faced by a nation already grappling with poverty. The road to recovery was long and arduous, marked by a cholera outbreak and the daunting task of rebuilding homes, hospitals, and lives. In late August 2005, Hurricane Katrina, a Category 5 storm, churned its way across the Gulf of Mexico, its sights set on the southeastern coast of the United States. While the storm itself was formidable, it was the subsequent failure of New Orleans' levee system that turned this natural disaster into a man-made catastrophe. As the levees breached, floodwaters surged through the city, transforming streets into rivers and homes into watery graves. The Superdome, intended as a refuge from the storm, became a symbol of suffering, packed with thousands seeking safety but finding only misery. The storm claimed over 1,800 lives, displaced over 1 million people, and left a trail of destruction that cost billions to repair. Hurricane Katrina exposed the vulnerabilities of coastal cities to the escalating threat of climate change and served as a stark reminder of the human cost of inadequate infrastructure. 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami fury unleashed by the Pacific Ring of Fire. On March 11, 2011, the earth off the coast of Japan trembled with a magnitude 9.0 earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded. The quake, originating deep within the Pacific Ring of Fire, unleashed a colossal tsunami that slammed into Japan's northeastern coastline. Walls of water, some exceeding 130 feet, surged inland, engulfing entire towns and villages. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, crippled by the earthquake and inundated by the tsunami, suffered a catastrophic meltdown, releasing radioactive material into the environment. The combined forces of earthquake and tsunami claimed over 18,000 lives and displaced hundreds of thousands more. The disaster served as a stark reminder of the volatile nature of the Pacific Ring of Fire and the ever-present threat of tsunamis in earthquake-prone regions. 1985 Mexico City earthquake. a city shaken to its core. On the morning of September 19, 1985, a magnitude 8.0 earthquake struck Mexico City. The epicenter, located hundreds of miles away, belied the true extent of the devastation that would grip the capital. The city, built on a former lakebed, amplified the seismic waves, turning buildings into death traps. Thousands of structures collapsed, trapping countless people beneath the rubble. Hospitals, schools, and apartment buildings, once symbols of urban life, were reduced to piles of concrete and twisted metal. The official death toll reached over 10,000, though some estimates place the true figure much higher. The 1985 Mexico City earthquake exposed the vulnerability of urban areas to seismic activity and highlighted the importance of earthquake-resistant construction. Chapter 6, 1970, Bola Cyclone, a storm of unfathomable fury. On November 12, 1970, the Bola Cyclone, a devastating Category 3 storm, made landfall in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, and West Bengal, India. The storm surge, reaching a height of 40 feet, inundated low-lying areas, submerging entire islands and villages. The cyclone's impact was exacerbated by poverty and inadequate infrastructure. Millions of people lived in flimsy huts that offered little protection from the wind and water. The official death toll stands at 500,000, making it one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. The Bola cyclone highlighted the vulnerability of coastal communities to cyclones and underscored the need for early warning systems and disaster preparedness. Chapter 7, 1986. Chernobyl Disaster, the Invisible Threat. On April 26, 1986, the world witnessed the horrors of a nuclear disaster at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. A flawed reactor design and human error led to a catastrophic explosion that ripped apart the reactor core, releasing radioactive material into the atmosphere. The invisible plume of radiation spread across Europe, contaminating soil, water, and air. Thousands of people were exposed to dangerous levels of radiation, leading to an increase in cancer rates and other health problems. The exclusion zone, a 1,000 square mile area surrounding the plant, remains uninhabitable to this day. The Chernobyl disaster served as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of nuclear accidents and the importance of nuclear safety protocols. Chapter 8, 2019 to 2020, Australian Bushfires. When the land itself burned. From September 2019 to March 2020, Australia experienced an unprecedented bushfire season. Fueled by drought, extreme temperatures, and strong winds, the fires scorched over 46 million acres of land, an area larger than the state of Florida. The fires had a devastating impact on wildlife, killing an estimated 1 billion animals, including koalas, kangaroos, and birds. The smoke from the fires blanketed major cities, causing respiratory problems and reducing air quality to hazardous levels. The economic cost of the fires was estimated at billions of dollars. The Australian bushfires highlighted the growing threat of climate change and the need for greater investment in fire prevention and management strategies. Chapter 9, 1815, Mount Tambora Eruption, the year without a summer. In April 1815, Mount Tambora, a volcano on the Indonesian island of Sumbawa, erupted with unimaginable fury. The eruption, the largest in recorded history, ejected an estimated 38 cubic miles of volcanic ash and debris into the atmosphere. The eruption triggered a volcanic winter, as the ash and sulfur dioxide aerosols blocked sunlight and caused global temperatures to plummet. The following year, 1816, became known as the year without a summer. Crops failed, famine spread, and social unrest erupted across the globe. The Mount Tambora eruption demonstrated the global impact of volcanic eruptions and the interconnectedness of Earth's climate system. Chapter 10. 1906, San Francisco Earthquake, a city consumed by fire. On April 18, 1906, a magnitude 7.9 earthquake struck San Francisco, California. The quake, which lasted less than a minute, toppled buildings, ruptured gas lines, and triggered a series of devastating fires. The fires, fueled by broken gas mains and hampered by a lack of water, raged for 3 days and nights, consuming much of the city. Over 80% of San Francisco was destroyed, and more than 3,000 people lost their lives. The earthquake and subsequent fires left an indelible mark on the city's landscape and psyche. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake highlighted the importance of earthquake-resistant construction and the need for effective fire suppression systems in urban areas. Chapter 11, 1931. China floods the Yangtze River's wrath. In the summer of 1931, China experienced one of the deadliest natural disasters in human history, the Central China floods. Months of heavy rainfall caused the Yangtze and Huai rivers to overflow their banks, inundating vast swathes of farmland and densely populated cities. The floods displaced millions of people, destroyed crops, and spread waterborne diseases like cholera and typhus. The Chinese government, grappling with political instability and economic hardship, struggled to respond to the disaster. Estimates of the death toll vary widely, ranging from 2 million to 4 million people. The 1931 China floods exposed the vulnerability of riverine populations to flooding and the importance of flood control measures. Chapter 12, 1883, Krakatoa Eruption, the sound heard around the world. On August 27, 1883, the volcanic island of Krakatoa, located between Java and Sumatra in Indonesia, erupted with a series of cataclysmic explosions. The eruption, one of the most powerful volcanic events in recorded history, generated tsunamis that reached heights of over 130 feet. The sound of the eruption was heard thousands of miles away, and the ash clouds circled the globe, causing spectacular sunsets and a noticeable drop in global temperatures. The eruption and subsequent tsunamis killed an estimated 36,000 people and devastated coastal communities across the region. The Krakatoa eruption demonstrated the global reach of volcanic eruptions and their potential to impact climate and weather patterns. Chapter 13. In September 2017, Hurricane Maria, a Category 5 storm, tore through the Caribbean, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. The storm made a direct hit on Dominica, causing widespread damage before slamming into Puerto Rico as the strongest hurricane to hit the island in over 80 years. Maria's high winds, torrential rainfall, and storm surge caused catastrophic damage to infrastructure, homes, and businesses. The storm knocked out power to the entire island of Puerto Rico, leaving millions without electricity for months. The official death toll in Puerto Rico was initially reported as 64, but later revised to over 2,900. Hurricane Maria highlighted the vulnerability of island nations to extreme weather events and the challenges of disaster response and recovery in remote locations. Chapter 14. On April 25, 2015, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck Nepal, with its epicenter located just east of the district of Lamjung. The quake, which triggered avalanches on Mount Everest, caused widespread damage to buildings, roads, and infrastructure across the country. The earthquake's impact was amplified by Nepal's mountainous terrain and limited infrastructure, which hampered rescue and relief efforts. Historic temples and UNESCO World Heritage Sites were reduced to rubble, and thousands of people were left homeless. The official death toll reached nearly 9,000, with over 22,000 injured. The 2015 Nepal earthquake highlighted the vulnerability of mountainous regions to earthquakes and the importance of disaster preparedness and response in challenging environments. Chapter 15. On May 12, 2008, a magnitude 7.9 earthquake struck Sichuan province in southwestern China. The quake, which lasted for over 2 minutes, caused widespread damage to buildings, roads, and infrastructure across a wide area. The earthquake's impact was particularly devastating in rural areas, where many homes were poorly constructed and vulnerable to collapse. Schools also suffered significant damage, with thousands of students and teachers killed or injured in the disaster. The official death toll reached nearly 70,000, with over 18,000 missing and presumed dead. The 2008 Sichuan earthquake highlighted the importance of earthquake-resistant construction and the need for effective disaster preparedness and response measures. Chapter 16. 1991 Mount Pinatubo Eruption, a volcanic symphony of destruction and rebirth. On June 15, 1991, Mount Pinatubo, a volcano on the Philippine island of Luzon, erupted in one of the largest volcanic eruptions of the 20th century. After centuries of dormancy, the volcano roared back to life, spewing ash and gas high into the atmosphere. The eruption triggered massive pyroclastic flows, lahars, volcanic mudflows and ashfall that blanketed a vast area. The eruption's effects were felt globally as the ejected sulfur dioxide aerosols caused a temporary cooling of the Earth's surface. While the immediate impact was devastating, the eruption also demonstrated the Earth's ability to recover and regenerate. The Mount Pinatubo eruption served as a reminder of the awesome power of nature and the importance of scientific monitoring and early warning systems. Chapter 17. 2003 European Heatwave, the Silent Killer. In the summer of 2003, Europe experienced an unprecedented heatwave, with temperatures soaring to record highs. The heatwave, which lasted for several weeks, had a devastating impact on human health, agriculture and ecosystems. The elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions were particularly vulnerable to the extreme heat, with thousands of heat-related deaths reported across the continent. Crops withered and died in the fields, leading to agricultural losses and economic hardship. The heat wave served as a stark reminder of the potential impacts of climate change on human societies and the environment. The 2003 European heat wave highlighted the need for heat wave preparedness plans, early warning systems, and adaptation measures to cope with the increasing frequency and intensity of extreme heat events. On May 22, 2011, a catastrophic EF5 tornado, the deadliest in the United States since 1947, ripped through the heart of Joplin, Missouri. The tornado, with winds exceeding 200 miles per hour, carved a path of destruction a mile wide and 6 miles long. Homes, businesses and schools were obliterated, leaving behind a trail of shattered lives and a landscape scarred beyond recognition. The tornado's fury was so intense that it tossed cars and trucks through the air like toys and stripped asphalt from the ground. The official death toll reached 158, with over 1,000 injured. The Joplin tornado served as a stark reminder of the destructive power of nature and the importance of tornado preparedness, early warning systems, and storm shelters. In September 2004, Hurricane Ivan, a powerful Category 5 storm, wreaked havoc across the Caribbean and the southeastern United States. The storm's immense size and intensity caused widespread damage from the islands of Grenada and Barbados to the Gulf Coast states of Alabama, Florida, and Louisiana. Ivan's high winds, torrential rainfall, and storm surge caused billions of dollars in damage, destroying homes, businesses, and infrastructure. The storm spawned numerous tornadoes, adding to the devastation. While the official death toll in the United States was relatively low, the storm claimed dozens of lives in the Caribbean. Hurricane Ivan underscored the vulnerability of coastal communities to hurricanes and the importance of hurricane preparedness, evacuation plans, and disaster response measures. On September 28, 2018, a magnitude 7.5 earthquake struck the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, triggering a series of devastating tsunamis. The earthquake's epicenter was located near the city of Palu, which was hit by waves as high as 20 feet. The tsunami waves, amplified by the shape of Palu's bay, caused widespread destruction, wiping out entire neighborhoods and leaving behind a trail of debris and despair. The earthquake and tsunami caused liquefaction, a phenomenon that turns solid ground into a liquid-like substance, swallowing buildings and burying people alive. The official death toll reached over 4,300, with thousands more injured and missing. The 2018 Sulawesi earthquake and tsunami highlighted the complex interplay of geological hazards and the importance of early warning systems, disaster preparedness, and community resilience. Thank you for watching our countdown of the top 20 natural disasters in the world. As we've journeyed through these catastrophic events, we've witnessed the immense power of nature and the profound impact it can have on human lives and the planet we call home. From earthquakes and tsunamis to hurricanes and volcanic eruptions, these natural disasters serve as stark reminders of our planet's dynamism and the importance of understanding and respecting the forces that shape our world. While we cannot prevent these events from occurring, we can strive to mitigate their impacts through scientific understanding, disaster preparedness, and global cooperation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content. Let's continue to learn from these events and work together to build a safer and more resilient future.